Welcome to What the Biz, where we talk about building successful businesses, balancing life, and all the WTB in between. With your hosts, me, Richard Pyatt.
I'm Brigitte Vector.
And I'm Dan Prochko.
Here we are, What the Biz. Thanks so much for coming back and being with us. Richard here with Brigitte and Dan. Want to invite you to subscribe to the podcast so you get that little alert when these new episodes land, deploy, take off, wave at you, whatever you want to say about all of that. And so we invite
Come on, Richard, five more synonyms. Five more synonyms. Keep going.
Five
what else
more.
do you got?
Smack you upside the head, snap their fingers at you, tell you, come here. We were just talking before we started, we were talking about The Sopranos. 25 years, The Sopranos has been on the air. And neither of these two have seen it.
Yeah.
But there is a scene where Carmela, the wife of Tony, the wife of the boss, has a party, and it is catered by their friends, their high school friends. Of course, they're grown and married and have children now. They're older. And in the middle of the party, Carmela gets the attention of the wife of these two friends and does this signal with her hands, a come here signal, like with this look on her face, like, come here, I'm going to tell you what to do. And it was very condescending. So as you were saying, five more synonyms. I was imagining Carmela saying,
that's what comes to mind. Yeah.
Listen to this now.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
But no, we would not do that. We would just simply invite you to listen as a result of having been alerted by your subscription to the program. And we thank you for that. We also invite you to make sure that maybe you share some of your stories with us, because we appreciate these responses, the input you might have, perhaps maybe as much or more than you do from us. So social media is a way to do that. whatthebiz.com. There's also a nifty little voicemail thing there that Dan put on there, which I think is super slick. And I want somebody to try it. So you can hear that, because I think that's pretty cool. So even if you're a little bit uncomfortable with public speaking, we would not judge you. We would welcome your input even by voicemail. So do that. Well, welcome back, folks. Boy, that guy talks a lot. Finally, he's being quiet.
What's up?
No, actually, I was laughing about the, hitting the subscribe and getting the notifications. I am definitely a podcast junkie. So
a lot of those.
Oh, yeah. Yes. But it's great because when I'm going to get in my car, that's normally when I listen, and I have my whole notification list and I can see exactly what I want to hop into and get them geared up. And
that comment always gives me deja vu, and it probably does Dan too. Both of us having been in radio, people would say to me all the time, I listen in the car, and they say it to me now in the podcast world. Yeah.
Me too. I listen to tons of podcasts. I think I'm currently subscribed to about 30 or something, which some people subscribe to like hundreds, and I'm like, how do you even do that? I mean, 30, I can't even keep up. I've got a backlog of like 100 episodes, and the best time to listen, the car, especially on my longer trips. But I tend to listen all around the house. Like I do it while cleaning, I do it while doing dishes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like sometimes taking a shower, I'll have stuff on. And my wife one day told me, just like, is it ever quiet in your life? And I'm like, no, it's really not. It's not.
Which means it's never quiet in hers.
Well, I got headphones on, luckily. So luckily there's that.
Folding laundry. Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
It's always
I also have some podcasts that if I can't fall asleep, I'll listen to because they put me to sleep, and I won't name them because it's kind of
that's funny.
Or if I wake up in the middle of the night, can't go back to sleep. They get popped on, and I'm out in no time.
If this is too personal, cool. But do you ever find that you end up starting to dream about whatever it was in the podcast you just fell asleep to? because I listen to some story podcasts like fiction, D&D or fantasy role play stuff like while falling asleep. Just because it's not consequential, kind of in that way. Like I enjoy them and I'll go back and re-listen. But sometimes I have dreams about like, they were just in this dungeon crawl, and then I've got this dream going on of like I'm in this dungeon crawl like them, and it's pretty funny. It's just pretty funny. It's almost like lucid dreaming, but not really. It's like directed dreaming. Anyway,
I don't listen to anything like that, but I do feel like I should start listening to like a fishing podcast or something, because when my husband starts going on about fishing, it puts me to sleep. So maybe I should do that. But then I'll start dreaming about fishing, and I don't want to do that. So.
Right, that's so funny. Honey, keep talking. Oh yeah, really into this.
So actually, if he starts his fishing podcast, I'll just put it on my nightly routine, and he'll be like, "Oh, you're listening to me." Yeah, I'm trying to go to bed.
Well, you might subliminally pick up some things that will resonate later when he talks about them.
Sure.
Sure.
I know how to use the spinner baits and the jerk plugs and the chatter baits. And
let me tell you a story. I'll tell you a story.
Are these real words? Are we sure these are real words?
They're real things. Yes.
When I was part of a morning show on the radio in the spring and summer, we had a daily, are you ready for it? Daily fishing report.
No way.
From Lake Michigan, a charter company. That. Part of it was the fellow who did the report, and our morning host had a great rapport, but he would talk about that stuff, Brigitte, that you just talked about spinners. And I don't know about these things either, but you were glued to it because he just, the way he presented it was very, was fun and informative. So there's your, too bad. We gotta find him so he can tell you something.
Yeah.
He'll be connected to it.
Oh, fishing.
Oh, fishing. So,
what's everybody been up to? What's everybody been up to?
Dealing with winter.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, what was it? Over 12 inches of snow out here or something like that? 10 inches at least?
So here in Southwest Michigan, the closer to Lake Michigan you are, the more you get a lot of the time, because that's just the lake's way of telling you it loves you. And as you get a little bit further away, less and less and less. I have friends in Detroit who just don't get it. It's like, why do you have so much snow? The lake. So that's what we've been dealing with. El Nino's taken January off or something. So, we've had a big blast, as has a lot of the country. So yeah, I don't know if you guys like it. It's not my favorite, but guess we'll appreciate it.
It's just too cold. That's all.
Yeah, it's been sub-zero.
It's a bit too cold. Yeah. I've been dealing with, we knew that a teammate has been leaving, so I've just been dealing with hiring, applications, and going through that whole process again for a role that we have. So if you're looking for a advertising role and you're listening, you can head over to mypocketmarketing.com/jobs, and we got that listed. I don't think that's who's listening, but that's cool. But we're in the throes of finding a suitable candidate to fill the role, a new team member, as it were. So it's kind of an exciting moment, like meeting these new people and just getting different perspectives. And every day I get older, and they're all younger because it's entry level. So like there's cultural things going on and everything. So it's always interesting. It's always interesting. Is the key to it, but it's exciting because we love the new perspectives. We love the diversity. We've had a lot of it on our team, and we just want to make sure we keep that going. So it's it's taking my time.
And Brigitte, you were in the throes of hiring and the challenges of that too when last we spoke.
Yes.
Still going on?
Nope. I have a full-time team member.
Ooh, good.
Yep.
Congrats.
I don't envy you, Dan, but I am happy to be out of that for the moment. However, we're going to just leave. We're going to leave an open position permanently at this point, just because we realize that we just keep growing, and which isn't bad. And we're certainly in the thick of our busy season now. Everybody remembering that they neglected their books for the last year, and they're going to have to file taxes. So We're doing a lot of catch-up projects, and
That's
actually we're
another.
wrapping up one right now, so we'll have another opening coming up to bring somebody on if they need a catch-up. So
That's another Tony Soprano line, by the way. The phone
oh,
rings.
yeah.
It's my busy season. I got to take this. You know, you would say that's like, you know, football season or something. They were betting, taking bets. You can't see Bridget's face, but the last time we talked, when she spoke about the challenges of hiring, it was, you know, sort of a droopy expression, and she was in the throat. Now she's all smiles. So I think you heard that in her voice. So maybe next time Dan's smile will be coming through because he'll have found the candidate he needs.
Boy, I hope so. I am I'm looking forward to filling this role for obvious reasons. Because I'm doing it all right now, and so are some others kind of helping to fill it in. It's like, yeah, we can't do that long term. So looking
Isn't
forward
that what
to
happens? Bridget said that too, right? Somebody's not doing the job now. Who will be? Might be you.
Yeah. And it makes it really hard as the boss of a company, right? Because when you
Tony said that too.
I need to watch the show, dang it.
Yeah, it sounds like what should happen to this podcast is we should all watch The Sopranos, and then this will be business tips from The Sopranos. By the way, HBO, if you need to sponsor a podcast, we are open and willing. Yeah, that's funny.
By the way, speaking of that, just what you described, Dan, there is a commercial that James Gandolfini did before he died as Tony giving business tips. It's all over Facebook. You got to find it. You know, he says,
I think I saw it when it happened, but I don't remember. I'm going to look that up.
It's good to appreciate art. And there's the outline of a body on the ground, you know, stuff like that.
Funny. Oh, that's good.
Be one with the sea. And they're throwing a body over a bridge into the water, you know. Yeah. Anyway,
that's so great.
I can see a theme happening here. Poor Bridget. Yeah. I don't know what you were saying, and I interrupted you.
No, that's okay. That was a great interruption, actually. I think I was just saying it's really hard as a boss because you've delegated those things out, right? So you're doing different things in your business. So if all that comes back, you then have everything else you started plus everything back. So it's, I don't envy you, Dan. It's a tough one.
You're gonna find the person.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And here's an interesting segue to what we intended to talk about today. So you're hiring folks, and perhaps as part of the thoughts you're having about the relevance of that person's role is the notion that they're going to help you nurture your customer relationships and help build loyalty. They have a role in that. So when you're thinking about that, I presume that weighs somewhat heavily, right?
Totally.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I mean, every person on our team, you know, touches employee assets, brand pieces. It has a hand in their outcomes and success. You know, we find, you know, most of what we do, we generate about 50% of our clients, you know, lead flow and therefore, you know, revenue, et cetera. So like we're a huge portion of their success. So if our team members, if we don't have them, it's way more difficult to provide that success. So yeah, it's hugely on our mind.
Yeah, and definitely training team members on how to nurture and, you know, be the best that they can be for those customers definitely plays into this. Having the right fit for the employee role plus the right fit for our customers. So, yeah.
This is not, I don't know, I'm trying to phrase this the right way and I keep changing it, but do you consider a person's demeanor and personality and all of those things on top of their experience and how they might fit with your team?
Yeah, 1,000,000%. So part of our values goes like we hire to our values, but our values also talk through to kind of this loyalty and customer relationship, right? Like if we have somebody that's fulfilling our internal team values, we're working with customers that mirror the same values. So by default, we should be just naturally building all relationships. So we rely on our values heavily.
So we're in the same boat.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Ahead, Dan,
yeah, I was just gonna say we're in the same boat. That we hire by values as well. And we actually measure how well everybody on the team personifies those values every quarter, where we do these internal surveys, et cetera, to make sure that we all stay aligned. And so we're trying to get better at how do we hire for those. How do we get better at that? Because if they can, like Bridget said, personify and or I keep using that word. I'm trying to find a better one, but like exude those values in day-to-day life in their work within the company, it ends up impacting our clients and yeah, in a huge way.
Okay. So how do you, besides that was just one aspect, right? What are your thoughts then about nurturing customer relationships and building loyalty, perhaps beyond the interactions they may have with you or your team?
So outside of just like response time or going above and beyond, right? Like that, those are two things that we really pride ourselves on over here. We really like to celebrate birthdays. So our our clients get like special birthday messages or, cards or whatnot. And we like to do that because think about Christmas, right? Or New Year's time or, the holiday season. How many holiday cards are you getting from businesses that you work with? Like it's the time of the year that you're getting everything. Your birthday, you typically don't see as much. And so it's kind of that it's a special day, it's your day, right? And it just kind of brings out I don't know, it makes us forefront, like part of their mind. And depending on the client and whatnot, we'll send them like a gift card for a coffee, or if they're local, sometimes I drop off like a little gift basket or whatever that looks like. So yeah.
So we're not just talking about a card. You're talking about a little gift.
Yep. And if they refer people over to us, that's another way we build loyalty. Like we like to do gifts for that too, or bonuses or something off one of their services. Like we've got all kinds of loyalty type pieces that we bring into play.
So let's talk about what that really means. So you're trying to stimulate a certain dedication to you based on a underserved emotional prompting. I don't that maybe other companies wouldn't do. And I think your point is it's giving you it's elevating their impression of their experience with your company.
Sure. And honestly, I don't think we've built any of this in for that purpose. Like we just like that's who we are as a company. Like we value our clients and our relationships, right? Like we care about them on a personal level. And so it's more just, okay, I think of you as a professional friend. What would I do for a friend? I would do these things. And it's just part of our company value, our company missions. And yeah, we care about our people.
I got to write that down. I like the way you said that. We think of you as a professional friend. I'm writing that right now. So, Dan, what do you think about all that?
I think that's awesome. We haven't gotten to the point where we've implemented a lot of that. That is on a list of things, that we would like to do similar elements. We take a stance or a slightly different point of view is that, delivering what we promise is really it. We try not to overpromise and then thus underdeliver. We try to not even underpromise either. It's just, we just try to be realistic and actually deliver what we're promising. Sometimes we're there, sometimes we fail. And we're always working with our clients to, kind of gain that understanding as to, where we're at, what's up with capacity, where they're at. It's always fun for us to see when we've helped the client get ahead of their goals, and then we celebrate those elements with them. Because it means they're able to impact their community more, hire more team members, and or support local nonprofits and initiatives. Many of them do that we work with. They have, social programs that they believe in and support locally. And it's always exciting to hear from them where they're like, oh my God, we're here. Great. We can do more in this way to impact community. And I'm always just like that's what we help them do is, kind of live out their missions and be able to have that impact. So we try to celebrate that with our clients as much as we can. Yeah.
So identifying what's important to them and then helping to support those things that are closest to their hearts.
Yeah, so they can have bigger impacts. Yeah, that's really where we spend a lot of our time.
I love that. Yeah.
So that's similar in where it's rooted, even though, as Brigitte said, it may not be intentional to do this, but you're stimulating that emotional loyalty to you by endearing yourself to them a bit.
Oh, for sure. Oh my God, loyalty is so much about how much do you like somebody. To be honest,
yeah.
I mean that's a huge thing. I mean, look, we've all heard through history about fear. I mean, we were just talking about the Sopranos. Fear is a big thing, but that never holds anybody long term. And in business, that ain't gonna fly whatsoever. So there's no way that route would go. And then just doing your job and just delivering what you promise also doesn't entirely go the full way. We focus on that a lot because our clients need that. Without that, they wouldn't grow. They wouldn't hit their goals. But as I said there, and as Bridget was saying, there's that one little step further of caring what they care about or showing this investment in them as humans, is really important. I mean, that's how we get friends. If we didn't do that with our friends, we wouldn't have them. So that's a big way. We find that to be our big success in terms of loyalty and or building a customer relationship.
Well, and honestly, I feel like, I don't know, we all work so hard as business owners, right? And it makes sense to work with customers or clients that we enjoy working with. It makes the job that much better, right? And so we naturally would care about what they care about because we're working with customers that we like or clients that we like. And I think it comes down to, I like to get where we are a trusted partner for them, where they know that they can reach out, and whether we have the exact answer or not, we'll get it for them, or they know that they can rely on getting what they need from us, whether it's the service is being delivered that they are expecting, or they had something else that comes up that they can make that phone call and know that they have that trusted partner to reach out to that cares about them as a business and a business owner and their team and everything else. So, we just work really hard to be that. I know there's a lot of shortcomings on the tax and accounting side, and I hear about it quite often from our clients that they, can't get the answers they need from their tax professionals, and they feel lost in the tax world or overwhelmed. And just having that trusted partnership, they can reach out to us and, we help them through whatever we can. So bridging the gaps, building the relationships. Yeah.
You mentioned something in there that now just sparked my memory. You said something about not being able to get answers and responsiveness. I remember when we first started, some of the deepest relationships we made was because we had such fast response times, and we still have those. Like, we always respond within, 24, 48 hours. Usually it's within like 2, honestly. And our clients have always really, really appreciated that. And so all of our processes, we try to build them to kind of try to maintain that without impacting actual work, because, constantly getting interrupted, but trying to reply at least every day to everything. That was something that they were really, we verbally heard that, all the time. And that was one reason why we've kept them over them going elsewhere as well. Like, we've literally heard that. It's like, one of the reasons we love working with you is because you're so fast. Like, at responding, it wasn't even about the work. It was about just communication, which is the caring piece. Like, to me, communication is the caring piece. We care about what you care about, and you want, some answers to understand what the direction is. Nothing can be, Rome isn't built in a day. So expecting things immediately is unrealistic, but, having clear communication is really, really valuable between partners and businesses and customers and clients.
Yeah. And when you build the loyalty, when you have, so like in Dan's case or in my case, right, when you have some of those key employee departures and you've built those trusted relationships with your clients, they're a little more understanding when things aren't necessarily perfect in those moments, right? Where maybe you aren't responding as fast as you used to. Like, you were responding, because they trust that it's going to come back. They know that you're kind of going through those business growth headaches, and it's just nice to have the two-way street. But I mean, Richard, you're kind of in the business of building relationships. I mean, you're naturally doing that. So what is, your take?
So that's interesting, because I was going to bring that up, that part of what I do is helping people build relationships. And yeah, I think you're right, both of you, about how relationships make us feel. If we've built a relationship with someone, there is an inherent loyalty there that makes you want to stay in that relationship. But that's certainly what I try and do. And it's kind of funny, because I haven't been in business a long time, to the extent that I'm continually working with the same people yet. There have been a few, but what's interesting is, I'm just looking at my list here. Most of the folks with whom I work, I already had a relationship with. And so that helped seal the deal in a lot of ways. And that, I think a lot of us do that when we're starting a business. We've identified a need, we've articulated a direction, and then once you're in business, you already have in mind perhaps the folks in your circle of influence whom you have already worked with, and maybe that door opening is a little easier because of that. So that's where I've been, is working with folks, excuse me, working with folks I already knew and helping them share their story. But this is exactly part of the deal. Building that relationship, building that trust. And how can you do that? Okay, trying not to go on my elevator speech, but trying to help folks do that in a credible way, in a more broad-based platform, rather than meeting them one at a time and then trying to develop that. But anybody who's in relationship, who relies on relationships for their business, I think understands what all of us have said, at the very least, conceptually, but probably more than that, the importance of that. And sometimes it's hard to articulate. And I was thinking that as you all were talking, that so Dan's response time is fast. Bridget's going to bring you a birthday gift. That sounds interesting, but it also means that it does provoke that feeling, okay, I can rely on this person, and that means a lot. You're talking about the fast response times, Dan. I want to call out Buzzsprout, the podcast hosting company. They respond in 15 minutes. It's never been less than that every time I've reached out to them. And when they do, they're like, hey, like you're a friend of theirs or something. Hey, nice to hear from you. Yeah, we can help you with that. They're very responsive and quick. And you reminded me of that when you were talking about that. But yes, so I think I'm in a little bit of a different stage, in the sense that much of the business I've developed is as a result of relationships that were already built, and the feeling that folks had about our interactions previously that helped open the door, have conversations, and now we're working together. So now I'm paying attention closely to what you both are saying about maintaining those relationships and building on them.
Well, and you said something that stuck out with the one-to-one relationship instead of one-to-many. And it's something that I've recognized as we've grown. And I'm sure, Dan, you've kind of felt this too. There becomes a point when you have to think like forward. You got to forward think and figure out, how can I still maintain this level of relationship without having so much one-to-one? Because we all get the same 24 hours in a day, right? Yeah. And there's only so much time to make that impact with everybody. And we are starting that pivot with like a one-to-many option. Like, I'm going to be opening up and Ask Me Anything, where I would love for my clients to all come on and be able to ask questions, and they're going to learn from each other at the same time. And I'll likely open it up to non-clients as well, and just be able to give knowledge or resources or help to many people instead of one-on-one, because that will make my time go a lot further. So we're already starting to make some pivots, and it isn't because we care less. It's literally we want to make an impact more. And so to maintain that level and continue to make that impact and keep those good relationships, surveys are another great way, making sure we're keeping up on what our clients actually feel and what big things they have going on. Surveys and forms are a great way to do that too.
So you're confident that what they tell you in a survey is accurate, just the by virtue of the relationship you're doing for them. You want to know, how can we be better, different, etc. So they respond. Sometimes, people's thoughts about surveys are, people say anything on there, but it's a different dynamic, right?
Yeah, I feel that way. And honestly, if they don't want to give the true information, I mean, at the end of the day, I can't change that. And they're going to already make whatever decision they're going to make, regardless of what they put in that survey. So.
All right. You're nodding, Dan.
I'm in total agreement. Yeah. Yeah. That's all.
Wow. That's it, huh? Okay.
That's all. Period.
I think we've done a really good job on this topic. I mean, it's about caring is really the base bottom line, and that's so important. It's really hard to be loyal or feel like you have a relationship with somebody who doesn't care. And so having these touch points where we can learn about them, even if they're a bit removed, like surveys, or an AMA, etc. Like you have that person, but you're not one-to-one, you're one-to-many. But all of those are touch points that help people feel that they matter, and so when we can do the one-to-one, great. And then if we're able to have a bigger impact by doing one-to-many, just having these other tools at play, caring about birthdays, caring about what they care about, those are all things that help, build these relationships that build that goodwill and longevity. So yeah, I think we've done this justice.
Just one other thought I had that I fully acknowledge. I'm sure, I suspect you both do too, that these words we've used get used a lot. We care about you. We want to build a relationship with you. We want to be your trusted partner, using the words that you used, Brigitte. These do get used, and some people are a little numb to those, right? So you got to walk it, don't you?
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think we so much say it. I think we just do it.
Uh-huh.
I think it's just, you can figure it out by what we're doing.
Yeah, we don't have anything anywhere that says we care about what you care about. Like that's not a thing. No, that's just lip service. We literally walk the walk, like you were saying, Richard. Yeah.
How do you do it? Nurturing customer relationships, building loyalty? Tell us at whatthebiz.com. Reach out by the typewritten word or a voicemail if you'd like, and we'd love to hear about it. What the Biz with Brigitte, Dan, and Richard is right here, inviting you to subscribe, as we said earlier. Why not do that right now? And we'll be back soon on What the Biz.